Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name's Laura and today we are doing another pick a card tarot reading, and this time we're going to get you some really good news that you just need right now. So if you were feeling drawn to this video, there's some good news waiting for you, so let's dive into it. When you feel ready, you can ask out loud or in your head, Spirit, Universe, Higher Self, whomever, what good news are you wanting to tell me right now? And once you've done so, take a look at all three cards on screen, all three stones on screen, and select whichever one you feel most drawn to. Once you've done so, you can skip ahead to your reading using the timestamps, or you can watch through. So we have group number 1 with Lapis Lazuli, group number 2 with Afghanite, and group number 3 with what I believe is Amazonite, but I could be wrong about that, okay? So you can feel drawn to more than one pile in this reading. That is totally fine, totally normal. And if you're having a hard time picking, just close your eyes, breathe deeply, and just see whatever number pops up in your head. Or what I like to do is visualize my higher self pointing to a group or pointing to a certain number. So hopefully that will help you. And I just want to thank everyone for joining. Thank you all for watching the intro. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you all immensely. I love that this community is starting to grow again. So if you're new, welcome. My name is Laura and I like to post pick a card readings and other spiritual content. You guys can always comment any readings that you want me to do in the future or any topics that you want me to talk about, okay? I'll definitely do that for you. I feel like I wanted to say something to you and now I can't remember, so let's just start your reading. Group number 1, welcome. Let's see what good news is coming for you. What good news does Spirit, Universe, your higher self want to share with you to prepare you for? Guys, the funniest thing just happened. And by funny, I mean annoying. I was literally just about to hit the play button on your video to get started. And right as that was happening, this super loud, huge diesel truck came into my back alleyway, like the back alleyway of my house, and stopped right underneath my window. And it is loud. And I'm like, what does this mean? Because my windows were open. It's a beautiful day out. It's a spring day, and I want to open the windows as much as I can, and that just happened. So I feel like the first intuitive nudge that I got with that, it was like, okay, I'm about to do a lot of good in this reading. Obviously, the message of this entire video is what good stuff is going to come your way. And so I'm like, why is it when I'm about to do all this good stuff and channel in so much goodness, so much light into the world, this huge distraction comes and stops literally right underneath my window to distract me? And I almost caught myself getting agitated and just saying, you know what, forget about it, I'll film later. And then there was like a very small intuitive voice in the back of my head saying, what if you just shut the windows? And it's still loud, like don't get me wrong, you probably can't hear it because I have a nice microphone that cancels out a lot of noises, but it's super, super loud and distracting. It literally sounds like a garbage truck, if that can help you indicate like how loud this thing is. And now it's honking. So anyways, enough of that. You chose Lapis Lazuli. This is a stone I love to use to deter jealousy, honestly. I feel just intuitively, before I even look at your cards, that a lot of you may be having some success as light workers in the upcoming weeks and months. So if any of you have a spiritual business or maybe even a tarot YouTube channel, just like me, that will be very successful in the upcoming weeks and months for you. So that is amazing. Now, you don't have to be a light worker per se, like by profession. I'm also seeing career changes in general. Some of you may be starting a new business or a new business idea. There could be some shifts and changes going on there, which is amazing. I feel like what you're about to be offering the world, I'm seeing the word service in my head, sort of like clairaudiently / clairvoyantly. So I feel like you're going to be offering some sort of product or knowledge or offering to the world very soon. And I don't know why I'm getting visions of like flea markets. I'm getting visions of, I don't know, like maybe some of you are opening like a catering business, a restaurant, something like that. It feels like you're offering some sort of service or giving some sort of service to the world. This could obviously be YouTube channels as well, podcasts, books, courses, things like that. Or some of you may be like creating like little crafts and selling them at like different markets, various things. I don't know why. I am seeing if you're doing anything like that, it will be successful. One thing I'm also seeing, we didn't even get into the cards yet. Guys, I don't need cards to read. I really don't. I just do this for the visual element for you guys. Another thing that I'm seeing for you is during this time, there may have been like one or two people really, really triggered by your happiness and your success, okay? And this may have, if you're watching this as I'm posting it, this may have happened around the latest full moon in Scorpio, or I mean, honestly, whenever you're watching this, the last full moon that you had, you may have noticed someone, I don't know, just sort of freaking out at you or snapping out at you. And the reason why is because you're sort of elevating, you're ascending your vibration, you're doing better in life. And to be quite honest, sometimes your personal growth can trigger different people. So, and I think the fact that we had that whole truck situation outside that is still causing a bunch of noise, I wonder if there are people who are trying to be louder than the success that you offer. Does that make sense? So they're trying to distract you. Oh. That was weird. Okay, I'm sorry. I just got, I said the word distract you and then I got distracted. Outside, I thought I heard like a peaceful like Indian flute music. And I'm like, is the truck driver playing that? And then I realized it was just the tonnage and vibration of the truck itself that sounded like a flute for a second. Wow. Okay. Speaking of distractions, don't get distracted, guys. Especially by people who are attempting to distract you. Sometimes the darker shadows of the universe sends us distractions in the form of problematic people to throw us off of our course, to throw us off of our path. And you're being asked to stay true to what you're doing here and stay true to your idea. Okay. Now I'm sort of shuffling up cards. I just dropped one. Let's flip the cards over. Oh my God, we're 5 minutes in. I didn't even pick a card. We have the crocodile coming out for you. This was the card that you picked. And the crocodile is beautiful water energy. And we see you sort of lurking, waiting for the right moment to strike, waiting for everything to come into alignment, to move forward with an idea, with a project, something of that nature. We have being enough. Beautiful card. Look at that. With all of these plants here. And I'm also getting visuals of like, this is so specific. Someone misting plants, like house plants, to make sure they have enough humidity. And I'm seeing images of, if you have houseplants, like trimming away all of the dead leaves and making sure the humidity levels are right. There's enough dirt. Some of you may be repotting plants. Very strange. The innermost heart says you are enough. Nowhere to go, nothing to get, nothing to change. No need to grow more deserving. You, yes, you are love. So what this is telling me is you're already on a really great path for yourself. I feel like you're going to manifest this goodness no matter what. All right. So just keep doing what you're doing. Stay true to your path. And I keep getting visuals of you already, like you're walking down a path and it's like you're not getting distracted. On this path, there are people like jumping out of the shadows, trying to distract you, trying to say things like, oh my gosh, no one is going to buy your product. Nobody's going to do that. Like, just weird shadow energies. You know, when someone sees you walking on a path of light and wellness, and you're not subscribed to this matrix, you know, of having to have the same job that you hate just to make money. And like when people start seeing you do your own authentic thing and be successful, they get mad at you, but they're not actually mad at you. They're mad at themselves for not having the courage to do what you're doing. Does that make sense? So that's why it's not good for you to just, you know, give these people what they want and let yourself get distracted from your path. You know, people who try to do that, they're trying to fuel their self-esteem from you. You know, they're trying to make you question yourself. They're trying to make you fail at your goals and your dreams, because when they see you failing, they feel better about themselves for, you know, not doing what you were about to do. Does that make sense? So I hope you guys are not letting people get to you at this time. I don't think you are. Some of you may have even had to cut some certain people off. I'm not necessarily seeing cutting them off entirely, though. It feels like you're not contacting them at all. Like you could even live with them. You could be in the same space as them, but you're not communicating, contacting at all, or like the same circle, and it's inevitable to see them. Like You may have a family member, an ex, or someone who shows up in the same friend group or shows up to family events, and it's like you can't completely cut this person out of your life, but you certainly don't have to talk to them, associate them, or go out of your way to communicate with them. And so I am seeing a little bit of that. Another thing I'm seeing is that a lot of you are starting to recognize your worth as a person. There could be someone in your past, this could be an old situationship or ex or flame, who is, I don't know, they just never treated you right. They don't seem to treat anyone right, to be honest, is what I'm feeling. And you're, with all these changes that are happening energetically for you, you're starting to realize like just how much they suck and how much you deserve better. So you're no longer really wanting to tolerate that. I'm seeing all of these changes all at once. Oh my God. And we're not even getting into the cards. See, and the funny thing is, when I started this reading, I was like, I really don't want to pull that many cards for some reason. I only wanted 3 oracle and then some tarot. I didn't want this to be a long reading. And here I am, almost like 9 minutes into your reading, only 2 cards in, and all of this stuff is flooding through. So trust your instincts, guys. Oh my God, I just threw the card across the room. I'm a mess today. All right, well, the card is meditate and contemplate with the new moon in Pisces. New moon energy is great. We see new energies coming forward. Guys, I'm telling you, so many people who selected group number 1, you're either starting or already have some sort of business that is light worker, like tarot reading, energy work, Reiki, maybe even like making any sort of products that people can use on their spiritual journey, or it's creative based, you know, like you're creating something, you're a divine creator. That's what I'm seeing here. And you're putting more energy, effort, and resources into that, and it's going to be successful. That's what I'm seeing here with the new moon in Pisces. It feels like you're helping the planet, helping humanity ascend via very spiritual means. You know, a lot of you watching group number 1 are shamans, okay, of some sort, high priestesses on this planet, and you've had so many past lives serving in this way, and you're going to continue to do so during this time period in reality. And how are you doing that? I'm seeing you are you know what I see happening for a lot of people right now? I feel like we're in like late stage capitalism and a lot of people are starting to return back to how things were before the Industrial Revolution. I'm seeing a lot of people on the planet go back to like having their own small businesses and working for themselves, shopping at other small businesses, and sort of straying away from sort of like big corporations, big box stores, things like that. Now, obviously, this isn't the majority yet, but I feel like this transition back to that way of being will be happening as capitalism fails. And you already are getting a head start on that, is what I'm seeing. And those of you who got a head start, like you started this business already years ago, you may have really suffered financially, mentally, spiritually, stress-wise for a lot of that time. Spirit is coming through to say, like, you are highly psychically sensitive and you did the right thing, you made the right choice. You're actually ahead of the game because the economy, and this is a weird message coming through, the economy and the way society is going, people are going to start running towards that way of living, and you already got a head start. Does that make sense? Wow. I never like predicting things that are political or like economical on like a macro level. So it's very interesting that that message came through. So like it may not have been super successful for you thus far, or you may not have felt ready to do it thus far, but you starting on this now or seeing success on this now, it's really going to start paying off, especially when more and more like hordes of people start going back to this way of operating where they are purchasing things from small businesses and local people, focusing on community and artisanry crafts and work. What is the word? I can't remember it. Why was I going to say handmanship? That is not a word. Craftsmanship. There we go. Handiwork. Things like that, and you're already getting a head start on that, which is amazing. So we're gonna start seeing some success there, guys. I see you guys being very, very successful there. Okay, let's dive into the tarot and see what comes out. This feels like a very economical, career-based reading, so a lot of the good stuff that will be coming through for you is financial, especially if you are entrepreneurial, you have your own business, you have your own craft. Being enough, you already are very talented and skilled in that area of life. I'm sure you're studying still and constantly improving yourself as time goes on, because that's the nature of time. But I feel that you're already doing all of the right things. And if you've been feeling recently like you want to pour more energy into this, I think it's really going to pay off. And I feel like this ties into your relationships because, like I said, some of you've been cutting some people off, or like realizing that, oh wow, yeah, Four of Swords in reverse. You've been letting go of certain individuals who didn't really treat you with respect for a long time. I'm seeing for years at minimum. Okay. And for some reason, you're just having this wake up call now out of the blue. Like, why did I tolerate them for so long? Why didn't I put these boundaries down sooner? I'm seeing some of you, it's not that you're going back into hermit mode, but, and you're viewing it as hermit mode. Spirit's saying, don't view this as hermit mode because you're still going to be social. This is more so like a period of time for like a few weeks, a few months maybe, where you're just going into your creative den. Does that make sense? So it's not that you're separating yourself from the world. It's just like you're quieting your world down and really focusing on things like creative projects, businesses, things that you want to take off, etc. So I think it's really, really beautiful. Spirit loves to see it, and you will be rewarded for allowing yourself to sit in that creative den type energy, this crocodile den like energy, you know? Yeah, and that's the thing. The crocodile, they reside in shallow water. I imagine them in their own little ponds, sort of like nymphs, but uglier. Like nymphs rule over small bodies of water, big bodies of water, their own little corners in the planet, you know, and they protect it. Crocodiles kind of do the same thing in a way. But anyways, this water element definitely rules over spirituality and creativity. So even if you're just doing something creative that you love and it's not necessarily light worker-esque, it's a spiritual calling for you. Does that make sense? And we're going to see a lot of success in that in the near future. So that's very beautiful. We have the Seven of Wands. See, yes, this is what we were talking about. These are those healthy boundaries that we mentioned. This is you protecting your peace, your little creative bubble here. Yes, people are going to try to throw you off your course. I just want to say that. Okay, I don't know why. There's no explanation for this. I just feel like you've been more psychically in tune and sensitive and aware of people trying to throw you off your course more. And these are people who you always gave the benefit of the doubt in the past. You always looked on the bright side with them. You always wanted to see the best in them. For some reason, recently, your mindset has been shifting. Your view of them has been shifting, and you're starting to see them as like this almost like nasty person. Like, why are you trying to throw me off my light? I think you're starting to see how malicious certain individuals actually have been in your life. And you never wanted to view them as a malicious person. I feel like, honestly, group number one, you strike me as the type of person who would never recognize when someone is being intentionally malicious, because I don't think there is a bone in your body that resonates with that. Like, I don't think you'll ever be able to empathize fully with someone who can be intentionally malicious. I mean, you can empathize to the point where it's like, okay, you understand why people are the way they are based off of how they grew up, and you can feel their feelings. But I think one area that you may actually lack empathy, and this may be news to you, is when it comes to people who genuinely have malicious intent. Like, I feel like that was your blind side, kind of. You know, you could never really see that in people, even when it's glaringly obvious. And that may be why so many people in your life are like, why are you still putting up with this person? Like, you're just ignoring red flags, blah, blah, blah. If you had that experience, that is further proof of what we're saying. And I see that blind side of yours, it's like the eye is open. The eye is open. You're seeing it for exactly how it is. And, you know, it's mildly devastating to recognize how malicious and not so good certain individuals have been, that you've been allowing in your life for years now. Yeah, crazy. But you're protecting your peace, and that's why these blessings will come in. See, this is the thing. These people, they block your blessings. And the universe wants to bless you, but they can't bless you if you have someone siphoning their self-esteem off of you who has negative karma, who has bad karma racked up. Because if someone's siphoning their self-esteem off of you, meaning they're putting you at a place beneath them, like they're not respecting you in some way, and you start succeeding, they get a free boost up. Okay, does that make any sense? So this has been a theme that's been coming through in readings so much recently. Narcissists, people with narcissistic tendencies. What does that mean? They cannot source their self-esteem by themselves, okay? They have to feed off of other people's energy in order to feel confident about themselves. And they do this by putting other people down, quite frankly. They do this by sometimes they will put people on a pedestal and think they're the best thing ever and genuinely like respect them for who they are. But once they need that hit of confidence, they will try to find reasons why this person sucks, okay? Or throw them off their path, make them fail. And when that failure happens, or when they start seeing that person as beneath them, that makes them feel more confident in themselves, because it's like, here's someone that I respect. Here's someone that's glowing, thriving, beautiful, intelligent in life. And if I can somehow psychologically put them beneath me, then I must be even better than how I viewed them in a positive way. Does that make sense? So when you have people hooked on your energy doing that to you, treating you with disrespect, and the universe is trying to bring you good blessings in, but they have negative karma, they have bad karma, and karma is one of the key pieces of fabric in the mathematics of this universe. Like, you can't just undo karma, you can't just override it. You know, you're literally blocking your own blessings. Now, here's the thing, your good blessings keep building and building and building in the spiritual realm, but they don't have a way to come through when you have someone feeding off your energy like this, okay? You'll see, you cut off these energy vampires, instant success, I'm telling you, because the only blockage is them. So I also, this might be triggering for some people to hear, but I am definitely picking up that some of you watching, you've been connecting with an ex or a situationship who is just using you for sex. Like, there's no pretty way to paint this picture. Like, you love them. You empathize with them. This person never actually treated you with respect. And I feel like you're opening your eyes up to this person. So if whoever you're thinking about, while I say this, if it's really resonating, like, listen to this feeling. Okay, they are not intelligent. No offense. I mean, they could be very book smart. They could have high degrees. They could have a great job. Don't get me wrong. But emotionally, they are not intelligent. And they are what we just described, like sourcing their self-esteem off of others or off of very materialistic things, like their high degrees and their looks, their charms, the amount of people they can sleep with, you know, dumb things like that. Very childish, like teenager, troubled teen ways of feeling confident in themselves. And you absolutely adored this person. You were attached to this person, I feel. Maybe even, you know, thought of them as a soulmate, and they could very well be a soulmate, but this is a fallen soulmate. This is someone who needs to do their own karmic healing work before they could ever be with you. And that is not your job to sit around and wait for them. And actually, by doing that, you've been blocking yourself. And a lot of you have been waiting for this person actively. Like, it doesn't feel like you're together, honestly. And if this message resonates for you. So you need to recognize, like, I am enough. And this person could have done something recently that really started opening your eyes up to them. They could have lied to someone else and you witnessed it, or like a way in which they really hurt you in the past that caused you to separate. They may have done something similar to that to someone else and openly told you about it. And you're just like, oh my God. Like, everything's just clicking. I don't know. Ooh, death and rebirth. Exactly, guys. See, this is what I'm saying. Cutting those types of individuals out of your life, off of you. They're like a leech. They're not intentionally doing this as a form of like black magic, but that's kind of what it is. They're leeching off your energy. When they have someone beautiful and intelligent, successful in their own right, when they have that person available at the end of their line on their phone at anytime they want you, they can call and you'll pick up. And you'll be there. You'll forgive them. You'll forget what happened. They can say whatever they want to you. And you're still going to show up. You're still going to be there. You're still going to play into it. Guys, that's how they drain your energy. That's how they leech off your energy. You know? And it'll look different for all of you watching. For example, if this is someone you're romantically involved with, they could have this game where they literally go long periods of time without talking to you or being very cold towards you, and you still hanging on and still being there and wanting to meet up. Like, that hits their ego, you know? Like, oh yeah, like I have this beautiful, talented, amazing person wanting me, chasing me. Crazy. I can't believe people think like this. Or if it's someone who's very argumentative and literally puts you down and you keep forgiving them and bringing them back. You know, when they put you down, that's their ego hit. Oh, I have this beautiful, talented, intelligent, successful person, and they're still in my life when I put them down because they know that I'm right, which must mean that I'm better than them. That's how they get their ego hit. Ooh, we have the Magician in reverse, which is literally the card of douchebaggery. Literally, that's that control. That control. See, this is the good stuff that's coming in your life. You're letting go of people like this. And I am seeing a tremendous amount of success coming in for you because of it. Yeah, specifically success in money and career, business, small business especially. Or like business that you own. Big business that you own. Putting yourself out there. I see social media blowing up. I see you becoming very successful. We have the Two of Wands in reverse. Where will I live? Where will I go? I feel like with your success, there will be totally brand new chapters that'll be a little bit hard for me to discuss right now because, you know, one thing at a time. But with this success, I mean, it's a level of success where you can start asking yourself, like, where do I actually want to live on this planet? Because I can go anywhere I want. I can afford to go anywhere I want. Okay, I can restart my life in any way that I want, any shape that I want. Being more in control. Okay. All these cards just flew out. We have the King of Cups in reverse. Yeah, you know what is going to happen on this journey? If you're still following me, I feel like you're already in the process of energetically, very spiritually letting these types of people go that we just described. And I'm going to be honest with you, I feel like when you're doing this, they may actually try coming back and apologizing and saying, oh, like, I'm going to therapy now. Like, I know what I did wrong, blah, 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 blah. Here's what I think you're going to do. I think you're going to react in a way where you're going to say, like, you're going to be open to it. I feel like your heart is always open to people. To be honest, you strike me as that type of person. You know, your heart's always open to people if they're willing to actually make real change, if they were super negative in the past. But you're not, like, holding them to it, you know? When they come back and they're begging for forgiveness and wanting a life with you or whatever, you're going to not open your heart. You're going to keep an open mind. You're going to hear them out. That's what I meant to say. You're going to hear them out, but you're not going to skip a beat in your own life, you know? You're not going to trust them, to be honest. You're not going to trust them and be like, okay, well, come back in my life and here's all the eggs in my one basket. Like, no. You're like, okay, well, that's amazing. I'm so happy for you. Awesome. Anyways, I'm going to go back and do my own thing. And, you know, if this person, how do I put this? There's no way that this is going to go back the way that it was. I mean, this person is really going to have to fight for you. Now, I mean, if this was a runner-chaser dynamic, the tables have really, truly turned. Because it feels like you're just turned off to this person. Not turned off to them, how do I put it? It's like you don't have feelings for them anymore. You really don't. And it's like, well, we've been down this road multiple times. Nothing's ever changed. So I'm happy that you think that things are changing, and I hope to see that change. Good for you, but I'm not gonna I'm not gonna hold you to it. Like you do your own thing. I mean, cool, happy for you. It's like proof is in the pudding. When I see it, I'll believe it. That's the type of energy you're gonna have towards them when they try coming back. And we have judgment, which shows that coming back again. And I don't think you're really cutting anyone off. I don't think you're burning bridges. That's the thing. You're not burning bridges. You're just sort of like backing away and not putting like any effort towards the people who feed off your energy anymore, and there's a weird part of you that may feel kind of just a little bit pleased by the idea of them seeing you glow and succeed, and maybe that's also why you're not cutting them off entirely, because it's like, no, I'm going to post my success online. I'm going to glow. I'm going to bask in my laurels. And if they want to see that, they can see that. If they want to see what they're missing out on, they can see what they're missing out on. And is it petty? Kind of. But you know what? I don't blame you for it. So live your best life. Then we have the Hierophant coming out in reverse here. Beautiful. Going your own way in life. Doing your own thing. This is, again, confirmation of business, small business, doing your own thing, living your own career. I love it. I really do. Let's see what the last card is. I didn't want this reading to be too long. I just saw 2020 on the timer. Endings and new beginnings. Yeah, I don't know why I keep getting these visions of you being a really successful business owner. And I don't know why I'm even seeing you in newspapers that may be coming as well. Like a local newspaper may approach you like, hey, we're doing these pieces on very successful local people and we want you to be in it. And, can we do an interview or something like that? So I don't know what you're doing, but that's pretty big. That's pretty major. I love that for you. Yeah. And you're sort of walking with a whole new confidence, and even your looks feel to be improving as well. Like you're taking better care of yourself. I don't know why I'm seeing like whiter teeth. Your skin is getting more glowy. You're taking better care of your hair and its natural texture, whatever that may be. And I'm also seeing an elevation in your style. Here's the thing, with more money, it's like all areas of your life can improve, honestly. Like you can get the better clothes that you want to wear. You can upgrade your car, your living situation, all of these ideas that have just been compounding in the back of your mind for so long. They'll finally have the resources to come through. It's going to be a creative explosion for you. Because I'm telling you, this abundance has been building up and building up and building up. This money, this prosperity energy, this success energy has building up for you. A lot of good karma you've been creating because you're doing a lot of good on the planet. I don't know exactly what you're doing, but you're doing a lot of good on the planet. I can see that very clearly. And oh my gosh, once these leeches are off your aura, off your energy, it's all going to come in and it's just going to flow very beautifully. And yeah, you'll have a noticeably different energy. People will come up to you more. People will DM you more. You'll just have a lot of more opportunities opening up for you. That's what's in store for you. And remember, you're already on that path. 222. I saw 2222. There you go. I just saw it on the timer. Yeah, that's confirmation. That's an angel number. Yeah, and 2222 also represents beautiful partnerships as well. I mean, this doesn't feel like a very love reading. Maybe there could be love. I mean, we do see these little fish circling about each other. So when you're in your authentic energy like this, it certainly does attract the right soulmates and community towards you. Then your final card out was the Page of Swords. Beautiful card. Learning totally new things here. Yeah, learning how to run a business, learning how to market yourself better, learning how to I see you doing a lot. And I'm also seeing you more in the public eye. Like I said, like if you have your own little craft business and you're going to flea markets, like I see you just genuinely talking to people a lot more, not feeling awkward about it, putting yourself out there more, marketing more, advertising, and just becoming this little business guru, genius person. Very cool. I like it. And learning a lot of new skills with it. I'm telling you, business owners, have like experience in everything, like accounting, bookkeeping, being the janitor, being, the person working, the cashier, the everything, CEO. When you're starting at your own, you work every single position in that place. So I am seeing a lot of you doing that and turning your ideas into reality, which is amazing. And you're not waiting for anyone to give you permission. Thank you all so much for joining me. This was a very positive reading. I need to do readings like this more often. I feel like I just got like slapped with a bunch of serotonin and dopamine from you guys. So very awesome. You guys are so brave for giving your heart some space. And that's the thing what I was trying to mention earlier, like with you sort of walking away from these individuals, it's not that you're entering hermit mode, you're entering this creative den energy. That it's all connected, It's from that creative den energy that like all this glowy success starts happening, and you're already on this path, you're already doing it, you're already in it. Not really much you need to change. I think you're already doing it. We're just validating what's already existing here. So yeah, thank you guys for joining me. Like this video, comment how it resonated down below. I'd love to hear what your idea is, if you feel comfortable sharing it, or what your business is. Or if you want, who this person is. And subscribe if you have not already. If you want a personal reading with me one-on-one, the link to that is always in the description box, spiritpsychic.org. I also offer my intention oils there and spiritual life coaching sessions there, so check it out. Bye-bye. Welcome, group number 2. Let's see what good news is imminent for you, what positive energy you need to know about today. You selected the Afghanite, which to me is already showing, and this is like a rare piece of Afghanite that is a lot more pale. Usually they're bluer. I feel like you are definitely at a state right now where you're feeling wiser, you're feeling older. You are handling situations that may have triggered a lot of emotions with a lot more grace, and I feel like your critical thinking skills are actually improving, as weird as that sounds. Like the things that you once tolerated and bypassed before, you're like, no, like, let me sit with this, let me unpack this. I feel like your psychic abilities are increasing rapidly at this time. It feels like your third eye chakra is opening. And also I feel an association with your throat chakra as well, and being able to speak up for yourself a lot more. And I'm seeing increased confidence in speaking with strangers. I know that is a random weird prediction, but some of you may resonate with it, where it's like to the point where you can just go up and compliment strangers and strike up a conversation, which may be something that you never thought you could be capable of doing. And I see some of you who selected group number 2, you're able to do that now. Your charm and your charisma is at an all-time high, and it continues to unfold. And that is something that you will keep with you for the rest of your life. That's not something that's going to go away. I am seeing learning. I am seeing taking on new subjects of study. I am seeing here a lot of you are, how do I put this? I'm seeing visions of books, and you're learning like psychological things or mental things, self-help things that will help you become a better person in your relationships, in your friendships, just showing up at work, in life itself, just showing up as a better person. I am seeing a lot of you have been feeling guided to take more time to yourself right now. Okay, I believe actually group number 1 had a slightly similar message of like, it's not like you're entering hermit mode, you're entering this creative den. So I am seeing something like that for you, where you're spending less time with the people and influences that are not necessarily contributing to the growth that you want to see for yourself. And similar to group number 1, I'd feel like you're not necessarily cutting anyone off. This must be a collective energy at this time. You're not necessarily cutting people off. It's just you're taking more time to yourself. And in that time to yourself, you may be doing things such as reading and feeling more confident in yourself, however that may be, like doing things to improve your appearance. I don't know why I'm seeing images of like mending your clothes. Some of you may be like tailoring your clothes to fit you better, or you may be fixing up your hair, or there's something very physical here, like a physical glow up type of energy, but it's not random. It's like you're just taking more attention to that. And because of that, you're feeling more confident in yourself. I hope that makes sense. And you may even be doing certain projects and ideas that you always wanted to do for yourself, but you were really busy. Like your schedule was really busy. It feels like you have an active social calendar, even if you at times don't think that. It feels like when you had no friends, like not that many people in your life, you actually were able to focus on this area of life, like the physical appearance of yourself and your home and cleaning and projects a lot, whether or not you took that opportunity, not sure. But I'm sensing like you sort of missing that energy of having space in your schedule to just kind of focus on you and do whatever you want. Um, I'm seeing a time period in your life where you had that and you might not have used it to the full advantage. You may have distracted yourself a lot with things like social media or overthinking about, you know, toxic connections. I don't know. And now you're at a much more mature place, much more wise place, and you're just ready to have that time to yourself again. And like, what will you create? Some of you are going to create something pretty big, similar to group number one. But definitely see your psychic abilities increasing tremendously. You're mentally feeling very sharp, okay? And your emotions are very much in your control. So I would not be shocked if a lot of you have been meditating a lot more recently, or even thinking to yourself, man, I really should prioritize meditation, breath work, whatever it is that you do to keep you spiritually connected and keep your mind sharp. I'm seeing you do a lot more of that in the future. I'm also seeing healthy eating. Not that you're perfect all the time with eating, but you may be incorporating a healthier diet into your life, which may like do things like burn fat or just make you feel better, help your gut microbiome, which again makes you feel mentally stronger, mentally better. I'm seeing your mentality and your confidence is vastly improving, and that will have a chain reaction on all areas of your life. So let's see. The animal spirit that's coming out for you is the eagle, ruler of the east. Beautiful. Love this. This is air energy. Why am I losing my voice now? Wow. Yeah, that throat chakra energy like I was talking about. I feel like you're having some healings taking place there actually. I'm actually getting a vision of like angels and spirit animals, guides, especially like bird spirits surrounding you at this time. And they're actually helping you to heal, expand, and really thrive in the throat chakra area of your aura and your energy. This may have been a chakra that you didn't pay much attention to in the past. No big issues, no big, surges of energy. But for whatever reason, I'm seeing these spirit guides surrounding you, working on your throat chakra energy, your ability to just walk up and talk to strangers and express yourself however you want and articulate yourself beautifully. Some of you may be learning languages at this time as well, learning instruments, or refining your style in some way, your physical style, how you appear to the world. With your spirit guides working on your throat chakra, I actually feel like this is going to lead to a lot more success for you in life. Your charm is really, really high. I keep coming back to that. Magneticism is really high. And we don't really talk about the throat chakra that much out of all of them. I feel like that one is talked about almost the least. But I think it's from that energy system, that's incredibly important. That is how we show up to the world. That is how we express ourselves. And that could be one that magnetizes people in towards us, like the bard with the beautiful singing voice, bringing crowds towards him. Wow, now I feel like I need to sneeze. Oh my God, I'm having a whole like allergic outbreak during your reading. And I was not feeling this way at all today. So some of you may be going through a purging right now. If you've been feeling sick or maybe like yawning a lot, coughing a lot, sneezing a lot, burping, gas, all of these things is your physical body's way of purging, but the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, they're all connected. So when you're doing a lot of purging like that, you're also purging quite a bit from your soul as well. It's all connected. I remember there was a time period in my life where I kept yawning nonstop. And I'm like, what is this? And it was during that year that I was nonstop. It was a whole year that I was nonstop yawning. I was focusing on reducing my stress levels. My body was so stressed out, being in fight or flight mode. I was getting chronic hives from the cortisol, and I started yawning all the time. And I feel like that was just my body's way of like trying to calm itself down and remain focused, remain centered. So if any of you have been having like physical reactions to your energy like that, it's all connected. The eagle is sharp. I don't know why I keep coming back to this like sharp mind, seeing things very clearly for what they are. No rose-colored glasses anymore. Just really understanding people for who they are, what they have to offer, seeing them exactly for who they are. We have challenges coming out. Unbearable situations throw you directly into God's arms if you are open. Please take over, divine, and guide the right actions. Please take this burden and show me your will. Okay, so with this card, I am seeing you are successfully overcoming challenges at this time. Some of you may want to connect with Lord Ganesha or any elephant spirit, honestly, the spirit of elephant in general. They're great at overcoming challenges, overcoming blockages, and also the elephant spirit will help you create blockages in your life, block you from the things that are not meant for you. So when you're about to go down a road that you're not supposed to go down, the elephant spirit will really send you clear signals that this is the wrong road. So let's all actually collectively right now, if you're watching, pause the video and call out to the elephant spirit. Elephant spirit, please be my guide. Please guide me in the right direction. And if I am about to go down the wrong road, make it so abundantly apparent to me that there's no way that I can, deny that wisdom and keep going that road. I give you permission to send me clear, crystal clear, creepily loud and accurate signs when I'm about to go down the wrong road and when I'm about to go down the right road. Let it be known. And turn me, universe, into one who can see these signs and follow them. Beautiful. We have nothing is yet set in stone with the mutable moon. Okay. Lots of change in the air for you. Lots of emotions, and your future is not set, guys. That's a blessing in and of itself because things can change. Like the challenges you're faced with now, the problems, the issues you're faced with now, they are changeable. They're not forever. You can rework this. You can find a new path here. Definitely call upon the eagle spirit as well, because the eagle spirit has extremely keen perception, vision. And I like to call upon the eagle spirit when I need to see and understand the past, present, and future very clearly. And as humans living this human experience, we do not always see past, present, and future clearly. Okay, we can get into these enlightened meditative states where like we are one with all that is and we can see past, present, future extremely clearly, but that is not our daily experience. You know what I mean? Even if you're like a monk who meditates on a mountain for like 12 hours a day, there's moments where you're just human and you're just down here, you know what I mean? And you can't see past, present, and future very clearly. And that's why it's important to connect with our spirit guides and literally ask out loud, eagle spirit, you're one who can see past, present, and future very clearly. Please lend me some of your perception and help guide me along my journey and making sure that I choose the highest, greatest path for me. Give me your instincts. Give me your vision. Help me. Help me. All right. Let's see what the tarot has to say. I didn't really intend for this to be a super long reading. Okay, we have the Seven of Pentacles coming out in reverse. All right. Some of you, whenever this comes out in reverse, it shows me frustration because you're trying to work towards something and grow something. And you may be thinking, like, should I just give up on it now? Look at all these deep roots that have formed. And this person here, they only have like a tiny little sprout. And they're like, oh my gosh, it's not growing. It's not working. What's going on? All of the growth that's been happening thus far is happening underneath the surface. So your mentality, your intelligence, your emotions, your spirit, that is where the growth has been. Tremendously so in these past few years, I want to say. And you may be feeling frustrated because you have some challenges here. You want to see that growth in the physical realm, like you want to see money, you want to see great love. stability, all that good stuff. And you're like, man, should I just give up? Like, no. There has been tremendous growth. It reminds me of rosemary, the plant. Rosemary is an interesting plant because when you plant the seed, it'll sprout, but there won't be significant growth for like a year or two, honestly. And you may think like, oh my gosh, like, do I have it in the right growing conditions? Is it like actually happy? Whatever. Because in those first 2 years, they work on their root systems. Like they spread massive roots out. And it's from doing that they are able to absolutely explode in growth later on. Okay, same thing with like so many different plants. Like you'll plant it in like fall and then over winter you won't see anything. And you're like, man, what did I do wrong? But it's growing a massive root system to gain the water and the nutrients that it needs to absolutely explode in growth. And this visual is very telling because I feel like for the past several months and years, you've been in this state where a lot of the growth has been going on beneath the surface for you. You've been doing a tremendous amount of emotional, spiritual, psychological healing, more so than you realize. And you're like, but man, all I wanted was that physical thing, like the love of my life in my arms, money in my bank account, in my wallet, okay, a good house, whatever it may be. And you're getting there. All right, we have the Page of Wands. This could be telling that growth, that explosion of growth is going to be happening soon. Page of Wands is incredible. And this even sort of is an explosive motion that she's in. This is a brand new start, and the wands represent passion. I don't know why I'm seeing dance showing up for some of you. Some of you may be dancing more, going out to dance more. You may be dating or going to be with a dancer, if that makes sense. Very interesting. Page of Wands can also represent children in our lives, or just like new things that we're super passionate about. And it's fun. It's just a fun person, fun energy. You have fun with them. You have fun doing this. I'm seeing more resources to go out and have fun, go out dancing. You're not so stressed about money and survival. That's what good energy is coming for you. Like you can just have fun, let your inner child and all these ideas sort of explode out of you. We have the 8 of Cups coming out in reverse. Okay. So there may be someone or something that you're feeling drawn to walk away from. It honestly feels like your old life, your old way of thinking, which may have connected you with some very unfulfilling people and situations. It was your mindset that attracted your reality at the end of the day. And I feel like you were so focused on making change on the outside that you weren't paying too much attention to making change on the inside. And it's like you consciously are aware that, inner change will reflect on the outside of you. Like you can say those things all you want, but I think to the core of your being, you weren't acting in that way. And now I'm seeing a shift take place there where it's like, no, my energy is changing. I am not the same person. And I feel like this may have happened recently for you. This shift happened recently for you. I am not the same person. I am not tolerating the same things I used to tolerate. I am going to focus on the things that make me happy and have growth. I'm going to focus on the people who are fun. I don't know why fun keeps coming back out, having more fun. No longer putting your energy and your attention towards the people and the things that have challenge after challenge, problem after problem. And the thing is, you needed those people and those situations in your life for sure. Those very challenging, difficult people, situations. They actually, because challenges create growth for us. But I'm seeing a period of your life where it's no longer about healing and growing and constantly working on yourself. I'm seeing an era of your life where it is just going out and having fun, being in love, resting in your laurels, basking in the sunlight, like that type of energy. You know, life is not about constantly striving and healing and growing and changing. And for a lot of you, that was all you knew for so long, for years. And you know why that was happening for so long for you? You did not grow up in a healthy environment. You did not have the privileges and the loving environments needed to sustain and be a strong foundation for that which you're trying to manifest, healthy love, money, etc. It's almost like everything in your environment at one point in time was exact opposite to what you wanted and were trying to manifest. And you may have been in that environment for years. This could have been your childhood growing up. Like, if you're somebody who always wanted financial freedom, to be your own boss, to do your own thing, you may have grew up in an environment that was very poor, very poverty mindset, very poverty reality. You may have been, some of you guys watching, you may have been like the first person to go to college. You may have been the first person to, not rely off of a relationship for money, an unhealthy relationship for money. You may have broken a lot of generational wounds and curses. And that's why, for years, several years, it was like one toxic relationship, one toxic situation, one massive challenge after another. And it felt relentless. It felt like you're like, universe, why is it like one thing after another? When it rains, it pours. I can never catch a break. It's really easy when you're going through that to fall into a victim mindset and give up. Okay? Because it feels relentless. However, that is when it's during that period of time. You can't see it when you're in it. You are literally on like an escalator, just going, or an elevator going straight up, like ascending massively, your vibration, being raised out of the shadows, being raised out of that dark pit of despair and poverty and lack and whatever you dealt with, abuse, neglect. It's when you are experiencing those challenges one after another, those toxic relationships one after another, that you're actually breaking free from that, because it's in those challenges, in that toxicity, that you learn the power of self-love. You learn all the lessons, all of the intricate lessons. There's like billions of lessons you can learn in that you need to manifest the life that you want. And what I'm seeing, what's good for you, what good news is here, is that your journey going through that is nearly complete. And already there's some beautiful light starting to trickle in. People coming into your life who aren't toxic, who don't have any harsh challenges to teach you. They're just here to have fun and to love you and to enjoy time with you. And the funny thing is, it's that you still grow and expand from love itself, because this person, they'll help you grow and expand, but it's not going to be through trauma. It's not going to be through toxicity. It's going to be through them living their best life as a healthy individual and inspiring you. They may be doing things and you're like, man, I want to be more like that person. Those are the new people that are coming into your life. Those are the new energies coming into your life. They're leading through example, an energy exchange. And it's not that like everyone around you is like, better than you. You're all the same. You're giving them the same energy as well. Mutually reciprocating connections and situations, energy exchanges that are positive, that are light. In the past, you had those energy exchanges, but they were very negative. Let my traumatic ways of being trigger your traumatic ways of being. And hopefully in that trigger, you can learn, grow, and evolve. That's what you've been dealing with forever. We had the 4 of Cups come out like a while ago. I've just been sitting on it. And we see here, frustration, that this is that like almost going to give up energy. But here's your cup of love. Here's your cup of happiness and fulfillment that the universe wants to give you. 4 of Swords right next to that. Wow. Healing your heart. Giving your heart a break. Giving your heart a rest. Yeah. This message has been coming through so much in my readings. I'm almost sick of it. But for some of you, I do see you making decisions to back away from certain individuals and just give your heart a break to heal. I'm seeing slow burning love and situations unfolding, no rush, which is new to you. You're in this place of like healthy detachment where you're like, I like this person, I like this situation, I like this opportunity that's coming for me, like coming up for me. It feels really good, but you're finally at a place now where you're like healthily detached. You're like, let's just see where this goes. Let's see how it unfolds. Let's just enjoy it while it's here, and we're not forcing anything, we're not chasing anything. Previously, when you're in that shadowy energy, you may have had to force and chase and felt like you had to make everything happen, but now you're resting back within your own energy and you're saying it is what it is. How it unfolds, it'll unfold. And that's not saying you're just taking a passive role in everything and you're not initiating anything. No. But you're not chasing either anymore. You're not forcing. Slow burning love, building trust naturally. Wow, I think a lot of you guys who selected group number 2 finally are able to have healthy relationships. Or healthy, like it's not just relationships with people, healthy things in general. You know, healthy relationship with life itself. For example, you have one idea, or you get like one new job, or like let's just say you start like a side project or you start learning something, and you're not like going balls to the wall trying to force it to happen. You're like, if it'll happen, it'll happen. Let's just enjoy it for what it is. Let's just enjoy the ride. You know, let's ride this wave. See where it goes. You're not for, and same thing in connections. Like maybe previously when you would talk to people and you would conversate with them, you would almost feel like pressure to like keep the conversation up and talk a certain way or come across as charming, charismatic, whatever. That was draining for you. Some of you guys wore charisma and good conversational skills actually as a mask. Because I feel like you have this special ability to force good conversation with almost anyone, which is great, but is really draining when you're forcing conversation and that good energy, you know? How do I put it? You have a certain magic. You have like bard energy within you, group number 2. And those who aren't familiar, bards are like, listen, I know bards from like role-playing games and stuff. They're like the charismatic musicians, you know, the people who are entertainers. So like in an RPG where you can like pick your class, you can be like a fighter, you can be like a hunter, like a long distance thing, you could be a healer. The bards, you know, their superpower is charm and charisma. And I feel like you have that power within you. A lot of you might have siren energy, mermaid energy. Okay, in many past lives, you may have been this entertainer or someone who was frequently like the center of attention in a positive way. You know, you may have even been paid to be that center of attention and entertain and charm people. And I feel like you're putting an end to the era where you're forcing the energy. Like you have the magic to charm or have good conversation with anyone and everyone. However, with certain individuals or in certain environments, using your magic in that way can be very draining. And you had the magic to like hold people together, hold families, groups, relationships together. You were like the social glue. But being that social glue in certain scenarios was extremely taxing on your energy. Okay? And it's like if something is in resistance to you, you're just letting it go. You know, if a conversation doesn't feel natural, you're walking away. Not in a rude way, not in a disrespectful way, but it's like, okay, I'm going to go to the people who just I flow with better, I have more chemistry with. You know, you're not forcing life. You're not forcing energies anymore. And you're okay with letting people go. You're okay with letting situations dissipate. If it doesn't naturally flow, you're stepping into a more natural era of your life where life works for you. And you're in alignment with nature and you're letting things come naturally, which is extremely beautiful. And it definitely took a while to get here. I feel like you're a very natural being. You're probably, in touch with nature, but the energies of it, you're just allowing it to flow naturally, allowing life to work for you, stepping into your divine feminine energy where you can receive. You're not chasing, you're not forcing. You're going and giving and nurturing to the folks, the people, the situations that reciprocate it, that feel right to do that for, that don't have you second guessing yourself. Beautiful. We had the Queen of Cups come out in reverse right next to that as well. So much heart healing taking place here. So much heart healing taking place. Yeah, I feel like Queen of Cups in reverse can kind of represent who you were in the past a little bit. And I just dropped all my cards. Respectfully, in the past, while you always were this very creative, spiritually connected, intelligent, charming, very physically beautiful person, sensual person, I feel like in the past, there may have been some elements of either like codependency, toxicity, neediness, not neediness, but like insecurities within yourself that caused you to sort of try to force and chase and cling on to, hold on to energies that were trying to walk away or that were in opposition to you. And that is the version of you that you're letting go of. See, remember we were saying like you are letting go of an old you, an old version of you. That is who you are letting go of. This person who put in all the work in connections that was constantly the glue holding people together, tolerating so much around you. Someone who was comfortable begging for love and validation and affection. I feel like that's who you're letting go of. And I don't see you're like burning bridges. I don't see you're cutting ties very dramatically. It's just, that's not who I am. That's not how I'm operating anymore. So if people are going to be in your life and have access to your beautiful energy or even your body, they're going to have to show up correct and be in a place of giving, and the energy has to match. It has to be easy. It has to flow naturally for you to really pour energy into it, because that you have a lot of nurturing, you have a lot to give a person. There's magic here. You are a magic individual. You make magic happen. And also I feel like you're in a position of authority, whether you realize it or not, and people really feed off of that. By having you in their presence, by having you show up to their parties, by having access to your body. That is a huge gift because you are in this position of magic and authority. Okay, do you understand that? So it is a gift. Your presence is a gift. And it's not one that you're going to be giving so freely anymore. Wow. This goes back to woundings that you may have had early in life with parental figures and guardians. There could have been neglect there, or just a lack of emotion, a lack of presence. And because of that, you never really learned the lesson of your presence is a gift. Your energy is a gift. Your attention is a gift. And I feel like you were really in this dark, shadowy period of giving yourself to the wrong individuals. And that's what created so much challenge and toxicity and that whole darkness era. That's what is ending. That is what's coming to a close. You are walking away from it. And in this new era, guys, I feel like, you know what it is? I almost feel like you need something to mark the end of this era, because we mentioned here this shift is very subtle. It's impactful energetically, but you're not doing or saying anything dramatic, like cutting people off dramatically. So on the physical realm, it's very subtle, but energetically it's impactful. I feel like you might need a physical indication to mark the end of this era for you. I would recommend that. For example, if you're into tattoos, I would get a tattoo to mark the end of this era for you. A tattoo or a symbol or something, a haircut, something, or even just like a trip that you take yourself on to celebrate the end of this era. It could even be like a party that you have with your closest friends or a gift that you give to yourself. You need to celebrate the end of this era somehow and make it really grounded in physical reality. Does that make sense? That's what I would do if I were you. Okay. Let's see. We have the Page of Cups coming out kind of in reverse here. And whenever the page, this is like my new way of interpreting pages in reverse. I started like sort of reading them as adults who act like children. Okay. Page of Cups in reverse. This is emotional. Okay. This is someone who's emotionally immature, not knowing how to express themselves. And with this shift of energy that's taking place for you, I don't mean to sound rude to anyone who used to be in your life, but you're starting to sort of see people who you once held very close and had a strong attachment to as children. Like the way they operate and navigate, you see it almost as children, and that's kind of a turnoff for you. Because who wants to be anyone's mother or father? And then we had the 10 of Cups and the Hierophant come out. Wow. Yeah, there's love coming in for you. I am actually seeing marriage as well if you're not married already, which is incredibly beautiful. And all happening within divine timing. I almost get the sense that there's an alternate timeline that was available to you where you could have had this marriage, this long-term relationship with someone who was very emotionally immature and who didn't really appreciate you the way that you should have been appreciated as. Or I'm also seeing like alternate timelines of like a move happening. How do I put this? It's like a lot of you are getting married in the future or making a big move or like having a family with someone. It's like these really big emotionally happy events. And there's alternate timelines where you're doing the same thing. You're getting married, you're moving, you are having a family, whatever, but it's a lot darker, a lot more shadowy, you're marrying someone from your past who didn't serve or support you, or you're moving with someone who was constantly toxic, creating challenges, whatever. And I feel like right now is a very interesting time with the mutable moon coming out, especially because this present moment, literally the time that you're watching this, energetically, you're at a state where these alternate realities are all open and available. Like the opportunities are on the table, and they'll have the same thing: marriage, moving in, taking a move, starting family, some sort of big success, happiness, spending your life with someone, whatever. They all have the same things that you want. However, they're at completely different vibrations. Like some of those options are very shadowy, very toxic. The other ones are very happy and in alignment with you and natural, and you don't have to force it. You don't have to chase it. And it'll unfold slowly at first. And it's up to you right now which of these paths you take. So you're definitely at this massive, major turning point in your life. Although it might not necessarily seem like it physically, energetically, you're at this turning point. And that's why the Eagle Spirit came out for you, because the Eagle Spirit is fantastic at making decisions. They can see past, present, future very clearly. They see from an eagle's perspective, They know what's ahead, they know what's behind, they know what's in the present. They know everyone's intentions. So call upon that Eagle Spirit to help you choose the right path. Call upon the Elephant Spirit to help you choose the right path, the highest path for you. And don't be scared of making the wrong decision after you call upon these spirit guides, after you set the intention to be one who chooses the highest path. It will come. It will come naturally. All of the paths that will unfold for you or could unfold for you will happen very naturally, okay? It's not something forced. It's not something chased. So let the energy come to you. and you sit on the throne of your own heart and decide, is this right for me? Does this feel natural? Does this feel good? Does this have a strong foundation? Yeah, divine feminine energy sitting on the throne of your own heart. Yes, okay. So much love in your future. Positive change, hopefully, that you're wanting. Success, like financially, spiritually, emotionally. It's looking really, really good. But all of this energy is available to you through your free will, and if you're willing to reach out and take it. Okay, thank you so much for joining me, group number 2. Like this video, comment how it resonated down below, and subscribe to the channel if you've not already. If you want a personal reading with me one-on-one, the link to that is always in the description box, spiritpsychic.org. Thank you guys. Bye-bye. Hello, group number 2, and welcome. Let's see what good news is in store for you. You selected the Amazonite. This is an interesting piece of Amazonite. It has some other minerals there, some gray. I really don't know that much about minerals and rocks, guys, if you can't tell, but I do connect with them very intuitively. So while I may be lacking on the scientific names and all of that, I do feel and tune into these minerals. And this stone is very interesting. I feel like you were drawn to it because it has a lot of feelings of peace and emotional calmness and just being one with yourself, with life again. This is a great stone to work with if you are just stressed, honestly, and needing a sense of inner calm, inner peace, and just having an open heart to life itself. It's very feminine in nature. It's very soothing energy. Obviously, with the blue, we have lots of water elements, extremely healing and just unconditionally loving towards you. And I don't know why I'm getting visions of travel. I'm literally getting visions of being near a river or hiking near a river. And some of you may not even know that you're going to be doing this on an upcoming trip that you have planned. You may be like, oh, I'm not planning on visiting a river, but you may be planning to visit somewhere else. And then while on that trip, you find yourself having a beautiful moment by a river of some sort. And just feeling really connected to nature. I don't know why I'm getting like a connection to nature, being out in nature, around plants and animals, sort of like away from the cities, away from everything else. So that if you are planning anything like that, it will bring a lot of profound change to you. I am seeing massive spiritual change from that trip. Okay. How do I put this? The feelings I'm getting is so powerful. It's not just any trip where you're just like sightseeing, taking pictures, like you're disconnecting and reconnecting back to reality and nature and life. Like I see you having a deep spiritual experience in the woods or out in nature somewhere, wherever nature is for you, whether it's woods, desert, whatever. And I just saw 222 on the clock. So if any of you are receiving any type of invitation out to do something like that, I would highly recommend taking it. Now, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. It doesn't feel like it's going to be in a massive group, okay? Because some of you may be receiving an invitation to go out and connect into nature, like at a festival or with a very large group of people. That's not what we're talking about. And you could do that. That's fine. But I'm seeing like someone or one person asking you, or you can get an idea from this reading and feel guided to ask someone else, like, hey, like, let's go out into nature and just like disconnect from our phones and like just connect, the two of us, and connect with nature, maybe go hiking and swimming or something like that. Somebody may be asking you on like a camping trip. Here's the weird thing too. I'm seeing multiple invitations. Like this could easily get confused with someone or something else. Okay, because now I'm seeing a trip where it's like you're with a few friends out like camping or out in the woods, out doing something in nature. And that is also going to be great for you. That's also going to be very healing for you. So you should say yes to that. But in particular, I am seeing you and one other person out in nature, and it feels like you fall back in love with life during this trip. It feels like you have extremely profound spiritual experiences with this person. And it doesn't, have to be induced with plant medicine. Like this could just happen all on its own. So if this strikes up an idea within you, I would say go for it. Or if someone asks you to do something like this in the future, I would say go for it. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm also getting the feeling of falling in love. Yeah, I am seeing this message. Going on trips will bring you closer than ever to the people who are your soul family, and it will tear you apart from the people who are in your life for karmic reasons, okay? No greater love and relationship advice can be given, guys. Listen to me, because I may not be super old. However, I have been in so many serious relationships in my life, being a polyamorous, loving person, romantic person. And also, I've had so many friendships in my life, to be honest. It's weird. On one hand, I'm a hermit. On the other hand, I'm like socializing all the time. And the best piece of advice I can give you for finding out whether or not someone is for you is to go on a trip with them. Okay? Because when you go on a trip with people you're really not compatible with, oh my gosh, it's going to be so apparent to you. You're going to have a miserable time. But it's all good. It's all good, because while you're having a miserable time, you're going to realize, okay, this person isn't for me. And I've been in that boat so many times. And let me tell you, when you make that realization, you can still enjoy the trip. Just view it as like a sort of solo trip at that point on, That's my tip. I went on a 2-week extravaganza across the country with someone one time, and literally on the first airplane flight we took, like, I was like, yep, this is going to be miserable. But I just viewed it as like me enjoying myself and my own time, even though this person's with me. I sort of disconnected in my mind. I'm like, I'm traveling with them, but really this is a solo trip. I'm doing what I want, blah, blah, blah. However, like the people who are meant for you, oh my gosh, it'll be one of the most memorable, greatest experiences of your life when you travel with them. When you go out of your comfort zone, and the beautiful thing is you see them in so many different environments in such a short amount of time. You see how they handle conflict. You see how they handle problem solving. You see how they handle, being at restaurants, interacting with strangers on the road. You see how they handle uncertainty and new things that they've never experienced before. How are they when it comes to risk? How are they when it comes to stepping outside of their comfort zone? All of these things get illuminated in such a short amount of time. And I feel like when we're in experiences like that, where you see so much of someone's soul in such a short amount of time, it's just so memorable and beautiful. Or it's memorable and not beautiful, depending on the person. But yeah, I'm seeing blessed travel in your future. So we have the stingray. Yeah, so much water energy coming up in your reading. Stingray is a beautiful, majestic being. And look, all of the chakras aligned. Exactly. Spiritual harmony, spiritual connection. I keep coming back to water. Some of you may be going to like a tropical island of some sort. But I'm not really seeing visuals of tropical islands. I'm also seeing strong visuals of like camping, like woods, rivers, so like mainland travel, if that makes sense. Beautiful nonetheless. And I don't know. I just keep getting these visions and these feelings of finding your people and being with people who understand you. I was just thinking about someone special the other day, and I'm going to share a little tidbit with you because some of you may resonate with this. I'm starting to like get to know someone in my life, and I was thinking how special it is how we think in the same very particular way, where we both don't care about like gender roles, and we're very open-minded and progressive when it comes to things like that. However, this person still respects and does things that are very chivalrous. I can never say that word. Chivalrous. And like gentlemanly, like holding doors open and wanting to treat me and things like that. And I thought that was so beautiful that we think in the same way, because I've been with like both people of like the opposite spectrum. Like I've been with people who are very chivalrous and gentlemanly, but also have all of the negative traditional things that come with that. And then I've also been with people who are very like whatever, like open, gender does not exist, you know, progressive, but then they don't have that element of like chivalry. And it was just so nice to connect with someone who thinks the same way I do, where it's like taking the best of both worlds, and like combining it. And it's like not even something I have to talk about or ask. It's just who they are as a person. Why am I sharing this with you? I feel like you're connecting with someone who just thinks the same way that you think. And of course, they're going to have different beliefs and, you know, different things about them. They're a different person. It would be weird if someone had the exact same way of thinking about you. And that would kind of be boring as well, you know? But when it comes to just the things that you don't want to explain to people, you know, like you don't necessarily want to explain to someone like how you feel loved or like what they need to do to make you feel loved. Like, oh yeah, you need to buy me flowers or you need to, you know, initiate once in a while. Like those things, while yes, it's important to communicate like what makes you feel loved. I agree. And that those may not be easy conversations. Sometimes it's just so nice to be with someone who gets it. And this isn't even just romantic. This is friendship as well. Like you don't have to explain those things. You just get it. Now, it's not to diminish the friendships and connections where you do have to explain that because you just think differently. Like that's fine. And they can still be perfectly healthy and fulfilling relationships and connections. However, what I am specifically seeing for you in the future that's going to be great and you're going to love are connections where you don't have to explain these things. You just get each other. You're just on the same page. You're on the same vibration. Even though you may have different, you know, thoughts and beliefs about various things, you know, they just get you at a foundational level. And I'm seeing a lot of like similarities between you and these people or this person as well. Like even like similar decorating styles or just the way you carry yourself, your music tastes, like weird specifics like that. That you share that actually has created you to be these people who just get each other, who just think the same way, you know? All right. We have health coming out as well. Allow me, divine, to be tender and accepting of my body no matter what ailments I may have. May I always know it's doing the best that it can. Help me be a loving ally and friend to the sacred form. Okay. I'm getting a vision here. This person or people that you're connecting with take health very seriously. Okay? And not like so seriously to the point where like they can't enjoy like chocolate and like nice tasty treats here and there. Like they're not crazy. All right. But I feel like their energy is subtly rubbing off on you. And it's just such a beautiful energy exchange, man. Like you're just feeling more naturally inclined to health foods, to whole foods, to just feeling good, you know? I'm getting like green juices, like smoothies, beautiful, healthy, colorful breakfasts and, you know, hearty dinners. Like, I don't know why I'm thinking of food right now. And it's funny because as I'm thinking about it, my stomach started growling, which obviously makes sense when you start thinking about food and you haven't eaten. But it's just beautiful. It's not even just food. It's the connections itself that are healthier on so many different levels. And just, I don't know how to describe it. Being around this person or these people, whoever it is that's coming in for you, it's just easier for you to want to go to the gym and work out. It's easier for you to want to go for a nice walk or hike. It's easier for you to make healthier choices. And there's no logical way to describe why this is easier. It is simply the fact that when you connect to people, when you talk to people, when you give them your time, your energy, your body, your attention, there is an energy exchange that takes place. So connecting with someone who has the same optimism and healthy mindset, and there's someone who wants to be better, do better, just like how you are, it just makes those things easier. You know, you can preach till the end of the day that you want to be this healthy person and, You want to have a healthy, stable mind and whatever. Obviously you're all watching tarot readings. Like, you're all into self-help stuff. I think we can all relate on that. But to be around people who think the same way you do, it only amplifies that good energy within yourself. Like, they're really bringing out the best qualities within you. And I'm seeing in the future you making healthier choices with your foods and like exercise, things like that, like taking really great care of your body, because these people are amplifying those positive traits within you. It's not even like you need them. That's the thing. You don't need these people, because the good energy that's coming through already exists within you. You're just surrounding yourself with the right people who amplify the right energies, because there's also shadow energies within you that make it difficult to eat healthy, that make it difficult to, get up and be active. There's shadow energies within you that wants to stay broke and poor and unhealthy and all that stuff. And you know what? When you connect with people who resonate with those shadow elements within you come out stronger. People are just reflections, magnets, mirror images of what exists within us already. We are all extremely expansive, multidimensional beings with so many different facets of our personality. And the personality, the being that comes out of us, all depends on the people, the triggers, the mirrors that you surround yourself with. And the good news is, I see for a lot of you already, these people know you. They're already in your life. So some of you may have some new connections or friendships that are like warming up, I would say. Like, maybe you haven't spent a ton of time together, but you will spend more time together, as time goes on. And I almost feel like you're not more evolved than group number 2, but sort of like next step on the journey, as opposed to group number 2. So if you were drawn to that group, that would be very interesting as well. But it's like you are heating things up with new people, with people who are great. I don't know where I was going to go with that thought. I lost my train of thought. Okay, we have the full moon in Libra. I gotta say, this is incredible, because Libra also rules over our relationships, our connections, balance, harmony, justice, karma. A win-win outcome is forecast. I'm seeing you connect with people. This is a very people-heavy reading, if you can't tell. Who you bring out the best in them, and they bring out the best in you. Very fated, very astrologically aligned as well. You may meet these people on important astrological events and dates. You may meet up with them frequently around the new moons and full moons, just to be honest. That's how it turns out. And you bring out the best in each other. Wow, it feels so refreshing, because after group number 2, like they were at a turning point in their life where it was like they can stay with the people who bring out the shadow elements, or they can move forward with the people who bring out the light elements. And I'm seeing you're like, one step ahead of them, because you've already sort of removed the shadowy element people. And if you haven't, this could just be what's to come, This could fall anywhere on your timeline. But I just see the universe bringing you people who bring out the light within you. And you're letting it evolve naturally. You're not forcing, you're not chasing. Not that that's an issue for you. That was an issue for group number 2, which is why I'm saying, like, you feel like you're a few steps ahead of group number 2, because you've already mastered that lesson of not forcing, not chasing, etc. So I also need to tell you something that just happened. I just lost my train of thought on this reading because my phone had like a bank notification come up, and to me that's like important because I don't want to overdraft my account in any way. I moved some money around, and right now I have like $9 in my savings account because of the money I moved around. And this bill tried coming out through my savings account for some reason. I didn't even know it was attached to my savings account. And it was funny because earlier today I was thinking to myself, oh, I don't need this service anymore that keeps getting charged monthly. And I was planning on canceling it. And so it like bounced, like it denied. So I wasn't charged because I didn't have the money in my account and it didn't overdraft. And then literally the same minute that happened, someone sent me $15, which was the amount for the bill that was coming through, like the exact amount. So I'm like, wow, not only am I saving $15, but I just made $15 as well. And I don't know why this is significant to your reading. I feel like this is proof that you are well on your way to being in a very abundant mindset. In the past, you may have dealt with lack mentality, lack mindset. Because this is funny to me because I was just telling someone the other day, because I was telling someone who very much resonates with the type of person I just described to you, for you. I was telling my person about how when I was in the depths of my lack mentality, wow, maybe group number 3 is a reading for me too. When I was in the depths of my lack mentality, I would have this thing happen where I would make a very specific amount of money. Like, let's just say I made $320 one day. I would have a random bill or expense come out for like $320 or $319, like almost exact. The amount of money that would come in, it would have to go out. And I'm like, this is clearly not a coincidence. Universe, spirit, what is going on with this? Like, why is this happening? And I worked extremely hard to get myself out of a lack mentality. And now it's like the exact opposite happens. And I was just explaining this to that person the other day. It's like the second I am generous with my money, I get the same amount back. Like if I'm like, oh, I'm going to pay for you. Don't worry. Like I want to buy you lunch. And like, let's just say that lunch is like $95. I will randomly make a sale of exactly like $95 and then some, like 10 more, or like I'll make a sale for that exact money and then I'll save some sort of money. Like I'll get something free, or some sort of bill will get canceled or just something weird like that. And now it's like the exact opposite where it's like when I spend money, I make more money because I've been working so hard to get myself into an abundant mindset. And guys, I think if you're watching group number 3, you're already at the abundance mindset, so you have nothing to worry about. But I don't know about you guys. It took me years to get to that point. How long did it take you? Because I feel like you resonate with that. Like you were in a lack mindset for a long time. How long did it take you to break out of that? What did you do to break out of that mindset? Leave it in the comment section. I would really like to know. And if it's okay with you, maybe use some of your answers to share with other people and inspire others to break out of their own lack mentality, lack mindset, and get into a place where they're truly in a flow of abundance. For me, I had to really start seeing what I have in the present moment. I don't know. Months ago, it became highly apparent to me that it doesn't matter where you're at in life. Abundance is always available to you. Even if I have no money in my bank account and I have debt, I can have an abundance of ideas on my mind of things that I can do. I can have an abundance of books that I can read, and the information in those books will eventually like help me in some way. There's always abundance somewhere in your life. When I was suffering horrifically financially, and look at that, the Empress came out in reverse, which literally speaks to that lack mentality. When I was at my absolute worst financially and like business-wise, I did have abundance in my life. I just didn't know where to look at it because I was like, I have these toxic relationships. I have no money. I was so stuck on the lack, on what I didn't have. But at the time, I was receiving like free monthly makeup every single month because of some error that someone made when they were like previously living at this house. And I know the person. It wasn't like I was stealing their things. I had free makeup every single month. And I love doing my makeup. I love being on video and feeling confident. Like the universe gave me that. They gave me my artistic expression. They gave me the ability to look the way that I wanted to look for free. And in abundance, like I had way too much stuff. So I could really play with makeup and appearance and how I show off to you guys, essentially. I had an abundance of books on my bookshelf that needed reading. Books that taught me so many things, inspired so many videos, gave me so many ideas and changed my life. in a positive way, changed my mentality. I had an abundance of business ideas that I wasn't even taking action on. I was so busy, focused on the lack. I was focused on the relationships that weren't working for me, watching so many tarot readings, so many videos on those relationships. Not trying to call anyone out. This is a tarot channel. I was so focused on the money I didn't have, being stressed out about that, and then doing my stress coping mechanisms, that I literally wasn't giving myself the time or the energy to focus on the actual ideas I had to get myself out of the crisis I was in. That's what I did to break out of my lack mindset. And affirmations, of course, help as well. They're a great supplement, but I feel like that was really the core root issue. So leave your comment down below. How did you break out of this? We have the Knight of Swords coming out in reverse. Okay, this speaks to fast moving changes. And it's funny because I feel like for a long time in your life, you may have felt like things were very, very slow for you, slow moving. And I feel like things will be speeding up at such a pace that it's exhilarating, but it's also like, is this okay? Is this safe? Like crazy things unfolding. And wow, yeah, as I was saying that, in the back of my mind, I was thinking like, is this going to be like a relationship unfolding like beautifully, and they give you a whole new life circumstance? I have the Two of Cups coming out, and this comes out with the vision of someone coming in. And this could, again, it doesn't have to just be romantic. This could also be a great friend coming in, a best friend, but it can certainly be romantic for a lot of you as well. And, you know, I feel like your relationship, your friendship itself is moving at a very healthy pace. It's not being rushed, but it's like once that level of comfortability sets in and you both feel safe and comfortable with each other, I feel like this person is going to offer so many opportunities for you. And I'm literally getting visions of them having a great business idea and you move forward with it. And it's like something that you never could have done on your own. Like you couldn't have fathomed doing this on your own, you know? Or it's like, hey, like I'm moving to this really cool destination. Move with me, you know? Or I keep coming back to travel. Like really good travel opportunities. Like let's travel to this place together. Like let's have this moment. Let's have this experience together. And again, it's like so much easier to do it with someone. And this is so funny because I feel like for so many years in my readings, the message has been coming through of like independence, and you don't need to wait for someone to come in order to have these experiences. And the funny thing is, guys, I think you really took that lesson in and let it sink into the core of your being, and you became someone who does not necessarily wait for people to initiate your life. You know, if you want to travel, you're making the trip. You'll ask people if they want to come, they can come. If they don't, they don't. You know, if you want to start a business so bad, like you're going to start it. You're not waiting around for anyone. You really let that lesson sink into the core of your being. And the ironic thing is, now that that is just who you are being blessed with people who are going to come in and just like initiate all this amazing life things. You know, it's like before you wanted it too badly. You needed it. You know, you needed someone to come in order to like travel and live your life and be your best self. And throughout the years you learned, no, like I don't really need anyone. Like I can just do this on my own. People are great. Like you weren't becoming hyper independent to a point where it was a problem. And because of that, like you're literally bringing people in who are going to initiate so much goodness in your life. You know, these past couple of months and years, I feel you've really been in a leadership position where you are the one initiating so much. And it's so funny because now I'm seeing a vision of like years ago, you may have even set the intention with the universe or to yourself. Like, I am a leader. I am in my leadership, blah, 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 blah. And you may have actually gotten into a relationship or connection where you were constantly the one initiating. And that was a little bit draining. And it's like now you're like really missing people who initiate fun stuff in your life and like come up with a plan. And it's like you can just go out, have fun. Like you may be missing that. And that's what's coming in for you. And it's going to feel so exciting. But at the same time, I think at first it might feel ever so slightly overwhelming because you're just so used to always having to be the one to do this stuff. So when someone actually comes in and does it and they just want to give to you like that, oh my gosh, it's going to feel so good. But it's going to be like, oh my God, am I making a bad choice? Blah, blah, blah. Is this moving too fast? I don't know. We have the Ace of Wands coming out in reverse. Okay. This actually gives me a lot of clarity. Whoever this person is, I think one way you're going to tell it's them. If this is romantic, they're not going to try to sleep with you right away. And I know that's so specific. And it's not that they're not attracted to you in that way. No, we see the attraction. The Ace of Wands is here, okay? It is on the table. It is there. But they're going to try to build up a really healthy like kinship connection emotion with you. This person is just so healthy, like minded, and it's great. And if this is friendship, they're also not going to come in guns a-blazing, you know? And the funny thing is, I think you're the same exact way. Like, you're literally attracting someone who thinks and operates the same way you do. You know, you're not necessarily like a tough cookie to crack, a tough nut to crack. Wow, I don't know what I'm saying. However, you know, you don't just feel comfortable with people right away. Like, it takes a little bit to warm up to you, or for you to warm up to people, rather. And then once you're warm, you're just like a big old softie and you have all these great ideas and you initiate all this great stuff. And it's giving a lot of cardinal sign energy. So Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn. You don't have to be those signs, but I do feel that energy within you. And this person's the same way. Like, it may be a little bit slower moving at first as you just get to know each other. Not like slow moving, but it's not slow. It is natural. There you go. And once you build that trust, once you build that comfort, like, man, so much fun's gonna be had together. Strength in reverse. Interesting. Out of the blue, out of nowhere. I kind of want to see what card comes out next to this. I wasn't expecting this card. Strength in reverse. I don't know. I'm getting visions of heart-to-heart conversations being had on this trip that we talked about near the river. I'm seeing a conversation where someone tells you something they've never told someone before, or they have not told a lot of people before. And you feel so lucky to be on the receiving end of this, to be the person they trust to tell this. I am just getting such loving energy from this group. I'm happy you're the last group because this feels so good and I'm so happy I am reading for you. Thank you so much for letting me read for you and tune into your energies because this is really, really positive. 6 of Cups in reverse. Okay. I am seeing a heart-to-heart conversation, like actually opening up to someone about your past. And they open up about their past. This is like, you know, if you're dating, for example, you're talking about exes. And I know it's like, oh, well, you shouldn't talk about exes when you're like just starting to date someone, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, sure, whatever. At first, I get it. But I feel like you're opening up to this person and they're creating a safe space for you. And you're just having this weird feeling that like you're going to be judged. Because like I said, you changed a lot. Like you're not this Empress reverse person, this person in this lack mentality, this person who chases, who settles, who, you know, is in these negative situations anymore. And you're afraid, like, if I tell this person about my past, like, they may harshly ridicule me. Because I feel like someone may have done that to you, maybe not super duper harshly, but, like, called you, like, chaotic or, you know, I don't know. Just because of the decisions you made. This person's not going to do that. Another thing I'm seeing here is that there's a love unfolding for you, like friendships, romantic as well, that is so mutually reciprocated and like just someone who gets you, that as this connection deepens, you're going to naturally lose your attachment to certain individuals who you have a history with. So let's be really real here, guys. Some of you, while you're dating, while you're open, or, you know, while you're just living your life, even if it's just like friendships or whatever, there may be like an ex or people from your past who you may still think about, have an attachment to, you know, and you know they're not necessarily the best for you. You know, and they could not be the best for you because they have a hard time articulating their emotions in a healthy way, in particular. And they could either be like an emotional brick wall, or they just have these periods where they let their emotions flood out in a really negative way. and then they pull back because they're like embarrassed, and then they're a brick wall. It's not healthy. They're a great person, they're a kind person, but it's not healthy. And I feel like you may still have a little bit of an attachment to them, or you may think about them a lot, just something like that. You could have healthy boundaries with them. You could not be seeing them. Or if you do see them, like in the back of your mind, you admit to yourself, like, yeah, this probably isn't the healthiest. And I feel like as this connection with this person, friendship or otherwise, unfolds, your life is going to become so much like happier. Like, you're going to go out and have fun. You are going to feel naturally inclined to like healthiness. And I'm seeing like really passionate new ideas being emerged with this person or these people, like businesses, collaborations, travel, like this crazy fun stuff that it's just, whoever this old person is, they're going to pale in comparison to this new energy, and you're naturally going to lose your attachment to that. So Spirit is saying, if you are sort of stuck on anyone, or you're still in that energy of thinking about them a lot, keep putting yourself out there and keep your heart open to new individuals that are deepening in your life right now, new ideas that are deepening in your life right now, because I really do feel that you will naturally lose this attraction, this attachment to whoever this is over time. Like all of the dark, negative stuff that's happened to you in your past that still triggers you to this day, that's going to go away with this person. True unconditional love, true healthy love is the greatest healing balm a person can ask for. And there is this blessed soul or multiple souls coming in for you that will offer you that level of love. And like, it's just going to melt away the negativity you experienced in the past. This is the type of relationship and connection that everyone wants and overly strives for and like overly thinks they need. And you were at a place where you weren't even looking for it because you admitted within yourself, like, I should probably take some time to myself. I should probably create the happiness within myself first. Like, you genuinely got to that place on your own without forcing that feeling. Like, you genuinely made the growth to get there. And because of that, you are actually attracting this thing that everyone wants. And it's just so beautiful. I love it. The Wheel of Fortune came out upright, which again, it's just beautiful, tremendously beautiful change. Keep your heart very open to new love, new friendships that are good, that are healthy. We have the Two of Pentacles in reverse and the Nine of Swords upright. See, when these cards come out, I don't think of your energy. I think of someone else's energy towards you. And I think it genuinely hurts you to hear this, which is actually a good thing. But whoever this person was, or these people were in your past, I really do think that they are kind of suffering over you moving on and having a healthy connection who just speaks your language, and not like literally. You don't even have to be the same native speaking languages, whoever this person is, it's just like you just get each other. And I'm seeing a very interesting thing here where both you and this new person, whether it's a new friend, new relationship, whatever, you both had soul contracts in this lifetime to go through these relationships from the past that were like an emotional brick wall, either all the time or here and there, inconsistently, and walk away from them, move on and find happiness with someone healthy-minded, which is each other, and to have those people from the past feel this heartbroken over that. And I know you may be thinking, like, how is that serving the highest good to torture these souls? And it's through their own pain and their own suffering that they will heal and grow and learn how to open up their own emotions. Okay, with the Strength reverse coming out with the Ace of Wands in reverse next to it, whoever this person or people were from your shared past, both you and this person's past, they used lust. And if it was like a friendship, it could have been like a substance or like the highs, the thrills of like, I don't know, going out and partying or something like that. The glamour of it all. To distract from love, from their own deeper feelings. And I don't think they ever really truly were able to healthily express to you their love for you and your person, for their person, their past person. And that's what sabotaged this connection. And, you know, I think you gave this person 1,000,001 chances. And I feel like still to this day, your heart will be open to them if they ever want to heal and grow and work with you in a healthy way. You know, your heart was still is still to this day on the table to that. However, I think as you start to warm up to these newer souls in your life that just get you automatically, and while yes, you have your differences, yes, no relationship is perfect, it's just, like I said, this old connection is going to pale in comparison, because the level of health and unconditional love and fun and excitement and like just to be in a good, healthy relationship again, it's going to be so healing for you, so great for you. And your person's going to feel the same exact way. Because like I said, you had the same exact types of soul contracts in the past. And you're on the same exact timeline with them. You know, like you were going through your ex trauma or whatever, or trauma and drama, literally at the same time. Same year, same time. Like I'm getting that, literally. And I don't know. I feel like it's sad because you really love this person from the past, but it's their healing. It was all divinely coordinated that they see you move on, because it's in that heartbreak that they're going to realize, oh, it was my emotional brick wallness and my inability to just be vulnerable, open, and authentic that pushed them to go to someone who can be that. And don't dwell on that energy and keep yourself stuck in the same pattern with this person. It was karmically contracted. You know, this person from your past receives their healing and grows into a more mature person as a result of having to watch you move on from them. And you know, so many people have this experience where they're like, they treated me like crap, and it's like the second I broke up with them, suddenly they have a healthy relationship and are doing all this stuff that they never did for me. Like, yeah, exactly. You were their karmic teacher. You were leagues ahead of them vibrationally. And through the pain and suffering that they had to go through in order to like just watch you move on, watch you get what you actually deserve, which is great love and openness and all that good stuff, they'll realize. It reminds me of that song by Bruno Mars, I should have bought you flowers and held your hand. And I feel like this isn't exclusive to one person from your past. I feel like there's many people in your past, honestly, who you had this karmic agreement with, where you would sort of be their teacher through pain, through suffering. And, you know, many people had this agreement with you where you suffered, you were in pain, and you learned a lot from them, learned how to love yourself, learned how to be better in relationships, have boundaries, whatever it may be, you know? And I feel like you are finishing off your final major relationships like that, where you had like a strong negative emotional, how do I put this? I feel like honestly there will be more relationships like that in the future. I'm just being honest. But you're done with the last ones where you were learning something from them as well. Okay? Like you were having your karmic lesson and you were suffering. Okay? So in the future you may have people that you have to cut off Just being honest, you know. But you're not going to feel so strongly over it, you know, because now you have soulmate relationships pouring in, soulmate energy, unconditional love pouring in. That's the good energy for you. Anyways, that's your reading. Thank you for joining me. Like this video. I would love to hear how this resonated with you, so leave that in the comment box down below. I'd love to hear if you already know who this new person is and who they are for you. Is it a friendship? Is it a relationship? Are you dating? And also, if you want to talk about this old person, you can leave that as well. Leave some positive energy for the other people reading the comments. And if you have not already, subscribe to the channel for more. If you want a personal reading with me, one-on-one, the link to that is always in the description box, spiritpsychic.org. I also offer my intention oils there and spiritual life coaching sessions there, so check it out. Bye-bye.